like the idea that a voice can just go somewhere
uninvited, like a dirty thought in a nice clean mind.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay back at you with the Liberal Lens. And today, let's talk about how Trump doesn't even understand how the immigration laws work, or he's playing complete ignorance. But there's a video going around at Trump talking about asylums and how people are coming from jail and mental institutions, and he keeps using asylums. I don't think he understands the difference of what they used to call a mental asylum to people seeking asylum. And that's scary that the so-called commander-in-chief doesn't even understand the difference. But there's also parts of this that I think that they willfully ignore parts of the law when it comes to immigration law. And then they have these wild cult members in MAGA that sit there and back them and defend the horrible treatment of human beings. I mean, let that set in. We've all seen the videos. We've seen the videos in California. We've seen what they're doing in other states with ICE and using National Guard and the military against its own citizens, and the way they are physically abusing the people that they are illegally arresting because they're being defended by MAGA, either because, again, the hate and the willful ignorance, or they really just don't understand how immigration laws work. So one thing that I've been having to explain to people, and they can't seem to wrap their head around, and they just argue, or they get pissed off, call me a fucking libertard, and then just dip out the conversation, right? Because we already know when you flip facts on MAGA, they get confused, and then they can't do anything but lash out and then dip, kind of like the pedo in chief. But so when you're in the United States, so-called illegally, which isn't illegal unless you've been previously deported. So if you are somebody here and you enter the United States, or you are already present in the United States and you apply for asylum, you are now legally in the United States. And even before you apply for asylum, it's not technically illegal because it's a civil forfeiture. It is not a criminal offense. So it is not illegal to be in the United States undocumented. The civil offense can be that you get deported. And once you're deported, then if you re-enter the United States, it becomes illegal. So you have to have been deported prior for it to be illegal for you to be here. And I know I keep pounding home the word illegal because people don't seem to understand the difference. So once you're in the United States, or you're coming to the United States and you apply for asylum, now you are legally here until your court hearings. Now, in some cases, yes, they can detain you. But if you come here legally, or if you come to the border and apply legally for asylum, they don't usually deport, or they don't usually incarcerate you and hold you until your hearing. They usually let you go about your business, show up to court, and do what needs to be done. Now, if the court deems that you are here illegally, that still does not mean they can deport you. It still has to go to the judge to rule and then sign a deportment petition. So they have to sign the petition for you to be deported. So there's all these steps they have to take before they can legally deport you. And they are given these due processes under the Constitution. And I know you have fucking morons who will tell you they're here illegally, they're not covered under the Constitution. Yes, every single person is protected under the Constitution with this due process, so you don't illegally deport American citizens. If you didn't have this due process right, they can snatch up anybody they want and deport them and just say they were illegal, even if they are legal American citizens. You or I could be deported even though we were born here, or anybody else who came here legally and did all the process to become a citizen or get their visa all of these things, and now they can still deport you because they're denying due process. You have the right to show why you should not be deported and why you are here legally. And this is what MAGA doesn't seem to understand. They can't wrap their head around it. And Donald Trump knows this shit. And him and his administration doesn't care because they're literally white nationalists. Stephen Miller, Steve Bannon, all white nationalists. Trump has racist accusations and rental fraud going back to the 70s for racial discrimination. Through history, we've heard the things he said. But yet people don't want to admit, no, that's not it. We all know that's not it. His MAGA base doesn't want to admit it because then they have to admit their racism. We had an incident where I lived just recently where one of the workers at one of the food court, Cinnabon, whatever the fuck, in the food court, decided to use the N-word on 2 Somalian customers. This resulted, obviously, in a video going viral and Cinnabon firing said employee. I was looking in the comments of what was going on, and you wouldn't believe how many people tried to justify this racist behavior. Oh, we didn't see the whole video. We didn't see what happened first. We only saw the reaction. We don't know what happened to cause that reaction. Listen, I'm a Pisces. I can get angry. I have never been so angry that it has made me racist. Anger does not make you racist. It just exposes your racism because you were too angry to control yourself. So the true you came flying through when you decided to drop the N-word on 2 Somalians who happen to be American citizens, but yet because of Donald Trump liberating your hate, now you feel that you have the right to call them the N-word because Donald Trump's now going after Somalians, so it liberates you, MAGA, to attack Somalians. And do you guys not see the problem with this? Do you not see that Donald Trump is only using this to go after the Somalians so he can wreak havoc on black neighborhoods in Minnesota because he doesn't like Tim Walz? This is literally what it's about. There is 80,000 plus Somalians in the United States, roughly. 740 of them are here under temporary protection. 400 about live in Minnesota. So he decided that he is going to use ICE to tear up black neighborhoods in Minneapolis because 400 people who are here legally, mind you, under temporary protections, he wants to get rid of their protections and deport them for absolutely no reason except for he doesn't like Tim Walz. Do you see why due process is so important? Do you see why the Constitution has due process written in it to protect us? The fact that people can't understand this is completely crazy to me, and that there is legal steps that have to be taken before somebody can be deported. You can't just deport them because they're here. They have the right to file for asylum. That's why we have articles of the Constitution written about this. This is why we have laws and due process to go through these steps to make sure the right people get to stay and the wrong people don't. And nobody is saying that we should allow everybody into the country. But the fact that they're attacking everybody who comes into the country who isn't white. We've been through this in other videos. No, we don't want the criminals. No, we don't want rapists or drug dealers or gang members to come through. But we also don't want American citizens to be violated. And again, let's go back to why. It's only people of color. There is a shitload of Russians here in the United States that are undocumented, but you don't see them going after any of the undocumented Russians. Why? Well, one, we already know that Trump and Putin, wondering if Putin's got a picture of Trump blowing Bubba. Okay, anyway. And because they're white, and you know Trump doesn't care if white people are here. He doesn't care about, but he doesn't care if you're here, if you're an American citizen, if you don't support him, or you're a person of color. It's the white nationalist part of this whole thing. It's the white nationalist part of Project 2025 that everybody seems to keep ignoring. The reason they're wreaking havoc on the communities that they are is because of the color of their skin. They don't really care about undocumented people, or like I said, they would be going after the undocumented Russians in this country. There's more undocumented Russians in this country than there is Somalians. And the Somalians that he's going after are actually here legally under temporary protection status. But that doesn't matter to this administration. It doesn't matter to his followers. All right, everybody. I just did this video hopefully to educate some people on how the law works and why due process is important. I appreciate everybody's support. I appreciate all your support on Facebook. You are supporting the hell out of us on Facebook. I appreciate it. I'm just asking, please go over to YouTube. Hit that subscribe. It'll make you feel good. Hit the notification. You won't miss anything. And then when the day comes and I piss off Zuckerberg, you'll still be able to find the content. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. One world, one love. Deuces.
Everything's polluted. The environment, the government, the schools, you name it.
This radio person is the whole problem. Are we going to allow this guy to be heard by anyone who can turn a dial?
You out there? You listening?